Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news. This is 24 News TV. I am Organic Victor. President Muhammadu Buhari has sacked the Minister of Agriculture, Muhammad Sabu Nanunu, and Maman Saleh, the Minister of Power. Femi Adesina, presidential spokesman, announced this at a briefing at the presidential villa today. He said the duo have been replaced with the Ministers of Environment, Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, and Minister of State, Works and Housing, Abubakar Aliu. Details we brought you in our bulletin. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has announced the appointment of 8 new departmental directors. CBN announced the appointment in a statement today, 1st September 2021. The statement noted that all the appointments are effective from August 25, 2021. Those appointed and their respective departments are Mr. Osita Unwa Sinobi, Substantive Director of the Corporate Communications Department, Mrs. Elizabeth Omolara Fashoranti, Director, Branch Operations, Dr. Abdul Kadir Abdullahi Jibri oversees Medical Services as the Director, and Mrs. Rashidat Jumoke Mungunu is now the Director in charge of the Consumer Protection Department, CPD. Others are Mrs. Amina Habib, who is now the Director, Human Resources Department, and Dr. Blaise Ijebo, Director, Risk Management, Mr. Chibuzo Anthony Efobi, Director, Financial Policy and Regulation, and Mr. Benjamin Nadi, who is the new Director, Reserve Management. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has announced its plan to prosecute anyone found spraying the Naira note at social events such as weddings, burial ceremonies, and others. The Lagos Division of the Federal High Court on Tuesday ordered the freezing of the Kogi State salary bailout account domiciled in the Sterling Bank over a 20 billion naira loan obtained from the bank. Tijani Ringim, the judge who gave the order, said it would subsist pending the conclusion of an investigation or possible prosecution by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The EFCC had made an ex parte application before the judge, which, according to the agency, was brought pursuant to Section 44, subsection 2 of the Constitution and Section 34, subsection 1 of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Act, and under the court jurisdiction. A.O. Mohammed, counsel to the EFCC, told the court that the order was necessary to stop further dissipation of the funds in the account. According to Mr. Mohammed, the 20 billion naira loan meant to augment the salary payment and running cost of the state was kept in an interest-yielding account with Sterling Bank. He added that instead of using the money for the purpose it was meant for, Sterling Bank PLC, acting on the instruction of the Kogi State government, transferred the money from the loan account into a fixed deposit account. Granting the application, Mr. Ringim ordered the EFCC to publish the order in a national newspaper and make a quarterly report to the court on the progress of its investigation. The judge adjourned the matter till December 1st for the report of the investigation. The organized labor has appealed to the federal government against any plan to increase the price of electricity or petrol to avert crisis in the economy. Babatunde Olatunji, President, National Union of Chemical, Footwear, Rubber, Leather and Non-Metallic Product Employees, made the appeal at 29th Annual Industrial Relations Seminar of the Union in Ibadan. The theme of the 5-day seminar is Socio-Economic Crisis and COVID-19 Pandemic, Issues, Challenges and Way Out. According to Mr. Olatunji, any plan to increase electricity or petrol will be a wrong step, and the organized labor will do everything within its capacity to resist it. He said that currently, power supply in Nigeria stood at 4,000 megawatts for about 200 million population compared to South Africa with 58,000 megawatts, which has a 50 million population. The association's president said that government at different levels need to make the manufacturing sector to thrive by giving attention to factors that promote industrialization. The Labour leader further said that the effect of socio-economic crises and COVID-19 pandemic on industrial relations is evident in the high number of job losses arising from redundancy and factory closures. Meanwhile, the planned hike in petrol price and other sundry services have been generating mixed reactions from concerned Nigerians who describe the current economic situation as unbearable. Moving on to health matters now, the federal government may sanction eligible Nigerians who refuse COVID-19 vaccination. The executive director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Faisal Shuaib, gave the hint at a press briefing in Abuja. In Edo and Ondo State, the state government have already announced restrictions regarding some public places that those who have not taken COVID-19 vaccine cannot have access to. Shuaib said the government may apply the basic rule of law against such people because they will be endangering the lives of other people. He said the Presidential Steering Committee and the Federal Ministry of Health is exploring ways of making vaccines more available to all Nigerians, including federal civil servants and corporate entities. And moving on to security matters now, gunmen have invaded the Diete Koki Memorial Hospital in the Opolo area of Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital. The hoodlums were said to have carted away cash and other valuables belonging to the doctor on duty and patients. 24 News TV gathered that the bandits scaled the perimeter fence of the state-owned health facility from the back to gain entry. A medical doctor, Awudupapu Okelegel, said the gunmen were 2 in number and they took him unawares as he was returning from his call room. The medical director of the hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Fetekpegi, described the act as barbaric and unfortunate. He said the hospital management would collaborate with the Ministry of Health to ensure that measures were put in place to forestall a recurrence. It is the second time the hospital will be raided, as some hoodlums had previously stolen its generator. A spokesman for the State Police Command, Asinim Baswat, said the incident is yet to be fully ascertained by the police. And to education matters, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB has pegged the fee for Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination post-UTME at 2,000 Naira. It also adopted the minimum cut-off marks for 2021-2022 admissions sent by heads of tertiary institutions across the country. The adoption signifies that there will be no uniform cut-off marks for 2021-2022 admissions as was done in the past. Every institution is expected to maintain its minimum score during the admissions. These are some of the decisions taken at Tuesday's 2021 policy meeting held virtually and chaired by the Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu, at the headquarters of JAMB in Buari, the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede displayed the minimum cut-off marks adopted by tertiary institutions at the meeting. According to the new arrangement, universities are not allowed to go below 120, while polytechnics and colleges of education peg their minimum cut-off point for admissions at 100. The stakeholders approved October 29, 2021 as deadline for the closure of amendments to 2022 admissions. We are going on a quick break now. When we return, the news continues. Stay with us.
From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are new, we are news, we are 24 News TV.
Glad to have you back. Now to the rest of the news. President Muhammadu Buhari, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme on Tuesday, launched the Nigeria Jubilee Fellow Program, NJFP, a fully paid post-NYC work placement program for Nigerians. The NJFP is a youth empowerment partnership initiative between the federal government of Nigeria and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. The program seeks to connect talented graduates with local job opportunities that apply their expertise while equipping them with world-class practical knowledge and relevant skills. According to him, the program is expected to create new opportunities for 20,000 graduates annually, while the beneficiaries will maximize the opportunities presented to them. He assured participants that the program, being a fully paid post-NYSC work placement program, would provide an opportunity for mentors who are already engaged in various industries to gain relevant experience and build capacity over the years to provide mentorship and support for the young Nigerians. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) asked the Department of State Services (DSS) to invite the Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs and former Governor of Benue State, Senator George Akume, for questioning over the rising acts of terrorism and mass killings in the state, and his call for state of emergency to be imposed on Benue State. In a statement by its spokesman, Kola Ologbodiyan, the party, among others, said attack on Governor Utom is an unpardonable assault on the generality of Benue people, particularly the victims of the bloody attacks in the state. The PDP describes Senator Akume's call for a state of emergency in Benue as thoughtless, reckless, and absolutely reprehensible. The party further notes that the call exposes Akume's desperation to destabilize the state, having become frustrated that despite the travails they face, the people of Benue have remained united and refused to break their ranks under Governor Utom. Elsewhere, the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City State, Pope Francis, has criticized the West's recent involvement in Afghanistan as an outsider's attempt to impose democracy. Asked during a radio interview aired recently about the new political map taking shape in Afghanistan after the United States and its allies withdrew from the Taliban-controlled country after 20 years of war, the Pope answered with a quote from a German Chancellor, Merkel, that it's necessary to stop the irresponsible policy of enforcing its own values on others and attempt to build democracy in other countries based on outside models without taking into account historic, ethnic, and religious issues and fully ignoring other people's tradition. During the meeting on 20th August, Putin scathingly criticized the West over Afghanistan, saying that the Taliban's rapid sweep over the country has shown the futility of Western attempt to enforce its own vision of democracy. Francis also said that all eventualities were not taken into account in the departure of Western allies from Afghanistan. Francis called for Christians across the world to engage in prayer, penance, and fasting in the face of events in Afghanistan.
Dice San Paolo in un conflitto molto serio ai Galati. E anche parola di Dio, perché è entrata nella Bibbia. Non sono cose che qualcuno si inventi, o se no, che ci toglie quella libertà nello spirito che ci dà la redenzione di Cristo. State attenti davanti alle rigidità che vi propongono. State attenti, perché dietro ogni rigidità c'è qualche cosa brutta. Non c'è lo Spirito di Dio. Spirito Santo. Amen.
Amen.
And now talking sports, Gent forward Paul Onuachu and Rangers midfielder Joe Aribo have touched down in the Super Eagles camp in Lagos ahead of the Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers against Liberia and Cape Verde. The arrival makes the 27 Super Eagles players present in camp as of this morning. Zaidu Sanusi and Chidozie Awaziem are yet to report to camp, with both expected today. The players will take the mandatory tests as stipulated by FIFA today. This comprises of ECG and blood tests.
Training session. We
need to be for more, because like you know, for the second game our UK players cannot come to Cape Verde. But for the moment we focus on the first game. It will be the most important to win the first game already, to be in a good position for the second game, and then we will organize for the second game without 8 UK players who have to leave. But we will have some people who will come and replace them. And for the moment, a good preparation is important now for the game on Friday against Liberia. It's a good team. We never underrate anybody. We don't forget that a few months ago in Benin City we had some problems with such a team. So it's a good lesson for everybody. We will be ready, we will be concentrated, and I hope that what I saw today in the training session, I can see it also in the match. Thank you.
And with that, we call it a wrap on the news tonight. Join us on our website on www.24newstv.com.ng and on our social media handles on 24 News TV Nigeria. I am Organi Victor. Thanks always for watching. Bye for now.